Hey guys, have you ever wondered about how the universe was created and about how soulmates work and spiritual alignment? Well, today's video is going to be the video for you. I'm about to talk about an experience that I had where I channeled a lot of information and I'm a little bit nervous. I don't usually do videos like this. These are very much like, this is going to be a highly spiritual video, like very much out there. So if you're just looking for surface level or simple stuff, check out some of my other videos. But if you're really looking about the meaning of life, or at least trying to learn about it, maybe you'll really enjoy this video. So I'm just going to dive right in. I'm really nervous. I don't usually share stuff like this, but hopefully you like it. So for those of you that don't know, I do not smoke weed at all. So I have done it once 3 years ago, and I had a horrible experience where I was channeling people's deceased loved ones and experiencing crazy things and getting a lot of stuff about the future of myself and other people. And a lot of it came true, and I just scared all my friends because I was talking about their grandmas and knowing stuff that they didn't want me to know, whatever. It was a lot. It was overwhelming. And I was really scared. And I was like, I'm never going to do that again, because I was like an open vessel and I was like channeling stuff left and right and I couldn't control it. Well, it's been almost 3 years and I posted about this. It was the last month. I finally got high again. Now it's just weed. Before y'all go crazy, it's just weed, girl. Relax. And I had another experience. So something that I learned is like, I can't get high normally. Like, it's a spiritual experience for me. And it definitely connects me to some higher power. So I'm going to kind of go over what I experienced. I channeled a lot. So let me just start off by saying, like, when I was high, I can't, when I look at you, I can kind of see your aura, and I can see if you're a good person or a bad person. If you're a bad person, I can't be around you and I can't even look at you. And I can't have surface level conversation. When I open my mouth, it's just going to say things like your deepest, darkest secret or the thing you need to work on, whatever. I wanted so badly to have a simple conversation and a surface level conversation, but I was not in control of the words coming out of my mouth, and I couldn't. And if you are not ready to hear the truth, and if you are not ready to hear your soul's desire, you can't be around me when I'm high, because I'm going to tell you exactly that. So I was able to establish what was my thought and what was a high thought right away. And they had colors. So my thoughts came from the right side of my head and they were purple. And high thoughts came from the left side of my head and they were blue. Now, I could feel myself slipping and losing control. So one thing that kind of freaks people out, and honestly, this is why I'm really kind of hesitant to record myself when I'm in this state. I mean, if you guys really want it, let me know, but I think it's going to scare people because I lose control of my hands and they start doing things like this. It's almost like automatic writing, and I look like a crackhead, literally, but my hand is like going like this when I'm channeling. And so as I'm like, I'm nervous, I'm sorry. As I'm like, channeling, I could feel things pushing on the back of my neck, and I could see like a door being knocked open, and I could tell that right back here, that door, if that were to be opened, that would be the way for me to connect with deceased loved ones. I could feel like that was their way of getting in and kind of picking the microphone inside of me and talking through me. That's what the image was like. And I didn't want to have that experience this time, so I barricaded that door shut. Maybe next time. But yeah. So before I get into the soulmate stuff, I'm going to talk about what I channeled when it comes to soul families. So I was shown, almost knocked everything over, girl, I'm nervous. I was shown an image, and I drew a picture, and hopefully I'll be able to insert it here somewhere. But I was shown an image of a maroon asteroid that was like glittering, and it was cut in half, okay? And around it was like this ring, this like cloudy ring on each side. And there were like little cloud, like white cloud formations of like gingerbread men, like that's what it looked like. And it was 9 of them here and 9 of them here, and they were labeled 1 through 9 and 1 through 9. And I was told that these are a soul family, okay? And I was confused about the numbers. Well, it was told to me that each side, okay, has to come together. And that 1 has to be matched with 1, 2 needs to be matched with 2, and so on and so forth through 9. And each number represented a lesson that you needed to learn, an overarching life lesson. It also splits multiple times. So it's like 1 incarnates with 1. So like each side incarnates at the same time, but many lifetimes. So 1 will get split a million different ways, which is all of the lifetimes we have. That's what was described to me. What was interesting to me is I was told, and this is what's crazy to me, I was told that we only have one romantic soulmate and that we marry the same person every single lifetime. Now, I know with reincarnation and stuff, you can be multiple different people, whatever, but no. I was specifically told, and I mean, I'm open to be wrong, who knows, right? Maybe I was just high and crazy, but I was specifically told that you have the same romantic soulmate every single time and you marry the same person. And the reason you marry the same person is because 1 has to go with 1 and 2 has to go with 2. And when you are dating someone or married to someone who is not your number, because that's your other half, okay, if you are not with them, you are out of spiritual alignment. A 1 with a 3 is always going to be frustrated and it's not going to work. A 3 with a 7 is always going to be out of spiritual alignment. Okay? And it kind of blew my mind. You guys know I don't really feel super strongly about twin flame, but, and this is an overarching thing that I was channeling, all of the information that we have about spirituality is close but no cigar. So twin flame is close but no cigar. What twin flame really means is that there's another person that is of the same group that you have to connect with. Now, technically, you could say you are 2 halves of a whole, but it's not what I was getting. What I was getting is you are both the same soul, and you both are similar. Like you have the same lesson to learn, right? And you're when the 2 of you are brought together, you bring the soul family together. It brings the asteroid together. It connects. And so it brings you closer to the source and it brings you closer to the beginning. That's just the what I was told. I was also told that everyone sees it 3 times. I was like, what does see it mean? And I was told love. There are 3 important, symbolic, impactful experiences in love that we all share until we meet our soulmate. 3. I was told that each number is assigned a color and an emotion, like red and anger. And our journey this life is to kind of figure out which number we are. I was also told that spiritual alignment is like a clock. It's not if you're in spiritual alignment or out of it, it's when. So basically, if you wake up and you do something wrong or bad, you're out of spiritual alignment. But if in an hour you do something you're supposed to do, you're back in spiritual alignment. So it's a constant battle, and the clock is always going like this. So spiritual alignment is just a matter of keeping pace. So I started to ask about how we were created and why. And what I was able to see was like the galaxy. And it was this really specific image. I ended up telling my friend, and she ended up showing me that it was an actual image of how the universe, or how they think the universe was created, especially the galaxies. And I was told that there is an overseer. So I was like, oh, like a god? And I heard the words, mother, call me mother. So what I saw was galaxies that were in the, like a globe almost, okay? And there was like a galaxy per, sometimes 1 or 2 per person or entity, okay? And I was told to watch the movie Inside Out, and I didn't know why. And I just recently watched it, and they keep memories in a little circle. Okay. And that's basically what I saw, is those memories where they could like touch it and go in it. Right. And that's like our galaxy. Right. And so there was mother. That's how she referred herself to. And she oversaw one. And then when I pulled back, I could see that there were 4 other entities. okay? And they created a star. So it's 5 points to a star. They created a star, and each of them oversaw a galaxy. Sounds kind of crazy, but that's what I saw. Now, I could only make out one or two of them. I believe that there were 3 female and 2 male, but I'm not sure. What I saw, and this is going to sound crazy, but I did a little research to what I saw, and it was a spiritual being and a spiritual entity. It looked to me like one was pink, mother was like pink, and then the other one was like blue. And we were here at the star, and the blue one was at the top. So we were like the left, and the other one was the top. I know this sounds crazy, just bear with me, okay? And I could be wrong and just being crazy and seeing shit, or maybe it's symbolism that I don't get, but I figured I'd share with you guys, see what you guys think. But what I could see is something that I can only describe as like somewhat of like an elephant trunk. I know that sounds crazy. And I also felt like the pink mother had multiple arms. And when I was looking stuff up, a lot of it dates back to Hindu religions and Hindu gods. And a lot of the depictions of Hindu gods fit what I saw, which was very weird to me and kind of shocking because I don't really know anything about the Hindu religion or anything like that. And I've never seen these things before. So to see a drawing and a depiction of some of the stuff that I saw is kind of crazy and makes me really nervous. But that's what I saw. I don't know. I asked why were we created? And the answer I got was kind of crazy. So I was basically told that they took a lesson or energy from each one of the people, so each one of the beings, each star point, right? And put it into a bowl to see what would happen. And I was like, okay, but there's 9. So, and they told me that some of them have put in more than others. So I don't know if one of them put 3, 2, whatever, but a couple of them have put more than one lesson. And I was like, okay, I'm confused as to why. And they told me literally because for whatever the reason, I don't know if I wasn't told or they couldn't articulate it, but basically experimental reasons, or I don't know, maybe they were bored. I don't fucking know, but that's as far as I got. What I essentially figured out is that they're trying to understand us, which I thought was so interesting. And the imagery that I was getting is like, you know, when you make an ant farm and you're trying to figure out the ant colony. So I asked and I was like, okay, there are a lot of theories about how the world is created. And there are a lot of theories about aliens. And they told me that aliens are them interfering. That's the physical sort of manifestation of them interfering. Think of it like them putting their hand in the jar and knocking things around and trying to fix things or push things along. So alien interference would be mother, so to speak, trying to push a narrative or make things move in a certain way that they need to go. And then they brought up simulation theory, and they said, once again, simulation theory, close, but no cigar. So essentially that's information that was downloaded to us that's slightly off. And I said, okay, but how come every time we get information, it's all wrong? What's going on? And I was told, we can't hear them. And I was like, what do you mean we can't hear them? And they're like, you can't hear us. For some reason, when we incarnate and are put into the little fishbowl, okay, we no longer can hear them. They do not know why we can't hear them. So what they're trying to figure out is why we can't hear them. The experiments that they're doing are trying to figure out how we can get them to hear how they can get us to hear them, because we're supposed to hear them. We were never supposed to do this on our own. We're never supposed to figure everything out on our own. They were supposed to be able to guide us, and they're like, why the fuck can't you hear us? We need to figure this out. And they said, that's why people like you are so important, because you can hear us under certain circumstances. So my assumption is perhaps things like weed and stuff, which are natural resources. Perhaps that's their way of interfering and trying to help people connect. And I was also told that people like me who are able to channel or able to hear them they hold a light to. So I've constantly heard the word like you're a lighthouse, like people are drawn to you, things are drawn to you. And what I was told is, well, technically we're making a hole in the galaxy and looking at you. So there's light coming in, right? Because we're looking at you and we're basically holding a flashlight to you to figure out why the fuck you can hear but no one else can. And we're studying you and figuring you out and having like a pinpoint on you. And this is for all light workers. Why the hell are you guys able to hear us and no one else? Because they want to replicate it. They're trying to replicate because everyone should be able to hear. So why the hell can you not hear? But why the hell can you hear but no one else can? And they also told me that there is some correlation between the people being able to hear and their number. So like if I was a number 9, a lot of number 9s can hear. Why can number 9s hear? And they said that their theory is that one of the 5 beings, their lessons that they're supposed to learn are impacting us in a different way than they expected. And fun fact, they did tell me one thing that was kind of funny. I was told by mother, they do not understand our fascination with procreation. That is literally what I was told. It's kind of creepy because I was told this, it was in the beginning of June. And then we had that whole sort of like falling out thing with like Roe v. Wade and everything like that. So it's kind of weird. I don't know if that was like a channel message or if that was just like in general, but they were fascinated with our fascination of procreation because I don't particularly think what I was told is basically like they don't understand why we want to procreate because they're in charge. So for them, it's just like, why do you guys want to create if we created? It's weird. It's a weird thing to think about, but it kind of makes sense to me for them to be like, why are you obsessed with procreating? That's not the purpose. The purpose is to learn lessons. Like, why are you making another one of you? Food for thought. So moving along to a little bit more of in-depth of me being able to see my friends' soulmates. So I was looking at my friend and above her head was a scroll. And it was like a fairy tale scroll. And as it unraveled, I saw her standing next to a man. And I kept saying, Prince Charming, this is your Prince Charming. I have no idea what I was saying. It was coming out of my mouth, but I essentially saw him. He was brown haired. He was slightly taller than her. And I think I remember saying like 33 or 34 was the age. I said that you were going to date him for 1 year and then get married. And I said, he's your Prince Charming. Prince Charming. I don't know if that movie Cinderella had relevance or anything. I just kept hearing Prince Charming. I said, I could see 2 kids next to her. I could see a dog. I described the dog. I also described the kids. They're either twins. They were a boy and a girl. They're either twins or they were 1 year apart, but they were very close in age. And I was like just sitting there stunned because I'm like, first of all, I don't even know what's coming out of my mouth. It's just flying out of my mouth. And I'm getting the age in which either she's going to meet him or get married and like what he looks like and like all this stuff and like that she's going to be dating him for only 1 year before he wants to get married. Like it was overwhelming for me. It was overwhelming for her. Then I started to channel a lot of information. And I'm not going to go super in depth with this, but I channeled a lot of information about her and her exes. And I was channeling information about my other friend and his exes. And I was channeling information about me and my exes and all this other stuff. And I got so much information that, by the way, it's been over a month since this happened. And I can tell you that I have had almost everything I said in my life confirmed, which is insane. Insane. Now, also, when I looked at people, like if I tried to pull someone forward to me, like let's say I was thinking of like my ex or your ex, whatever, or your best friend, I could look at them and they had a heart gauge like in Zelda, okay? And it would fill up based on how much that person loved and cared about you, okay? And I was looking at all of my friends' exes and stuff, and some of them were empty, some of them were kind of full, some of them a little bit red. I looked at someone from my past, someone who I didn't think really give a shit about me. And I was like, oh, I wonder, what they think. I'm going to cry. And their heart meter became so full that it broke and it went from red to green. Green is your heart chakra. So to see that somebody like loved me that much was a lot for me. So like I said, this experience was overwhelming and definitely intense. Give me a second. So I turned to my other friend, and above his head was like a movie. So I realized at this point, everyone's thing above their head is different and unique to them. So his was like a movie, and I could see him with his soulmate, and he had like darker hair. He was a little taller than him, and he's already tall, so he was like 6'2"-ish. And he had like this like curly, weird, like black hair, like almost reminded me like Elvis. Okay. And I saw him with 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and they lived in a white house. And he was like playing with the kids. And I told him, I was like, I feel like he's like, I think this guy is 32 and he's slightly older than you. I feel like he's 32 and you're like around 28. And I was like, and I keep seeing Cowboy, but I was like, but it's not actual Cowboy. And then I realized it was the Cowboys, like the Dallas Cowboys. So I don't know if Dallas had relevance or this person's gonna be a fan of Dallas Cowboys, but I kept seeing like the Dallas Cowboys like logo. I don't know what the fuck that meant. And then I was like, and I see you cold. I'm like, you're like wearing like this like jacket and you're cold and you're visiting the mountains. I was like, oh my God, I don't know. I'm like, I think this is where you're going to meet him. I'm like, I'm seeing you. Either you're going to meet him on vacation in like this like snowy place with like mountains and a log cabin or something, or you're going to go on a trip with him here and it's a significant trip. I don't know if it's when you get proposed to or if it's when you fall in love or if it's just something. I'm just seeing like this trip and you and this guy, this trip is so important. And I couldn't figure out why. And I said that it was weird because like this guy seemed very like calm, and my friend is not really a super calm person, and the people he dates aren't really calm. But I remember this guy just being like very calm and simple, like a very simple-minded man. So I was kind of excited to see that. So I figured, well, shit, if I can see it for you guys, let me try to look for myself. So I look for myself, and what I see is a very messy room. And I see an art easel, and I see someone painting on the art easel. And then I see them run away, and they looked very tiny. And I was like, was that a kid? And I turned to look at the art easel, and I'm going to insert the drawing of what I saw. It was a child's drawing of my soulmate. I got screwed. I was like, of course, I get this detail for you, this detail for you. And what I see for myself is a fucking circle with two blue eyes, blonde hair like this, okay, and a green shirt, looking like South Park, okay? Bitch, it looked like Butters from fucking South Park. Like meets Terrence and Phillip, girl. It was like, what the fuck? Bitch, literally it's a drawing of Butters. I'm not even joking. It literally looks like Butters. And I was like, am I getting trolled? That's all I got. Now, I don't know if it's like my inner child is wounded or my inner child is there. I don't know why mine was like that, but it was a giant fuck you to me. And I was like, oh, cool. I don't know anything about him. Girl, blonde hair and blue eyes is my type right now. So that doesn't do anything for me. No shit. Like, okay, cool. That's it. And he's wearing a green shirt. Like, it's not even. When I tell you I was so mad, I was so mad. I was like, oh, and none for Gretchen Wieners. But there's more. As the highs started to wear off, I realized that I could naturally go into the frequency that I needed to in order to channel on my own. So if I keep getting high and keep having these experiences, eventually I'll be able to just channel on my own without having any interference or any need to get high. So when I went home, I tried to figure out like, okay, can I get more information on my soulmate? And I was told a few things. One, there were 3 years before getting married. So dating for 3 years and then getting married, or knowing them for a year or two and then dating for a year and get married. But there were 3 years of knowing them, whether we're dating or not, until I get married. I also saw very similar to my other friends where it looked like I was in my mid-30s when I was getting married, which means that I'd have to meet this person pretty soon, which is kind of exciting. But I was also told that things can change. And I was told that if my or anyone's soulmate doesn't work out, another one comes in and replaces them. And I'm supposed to feel safe and protected. Those are the 2 words that I was told to manifest on from my soulmate. And my first one is supposed to do that. But if it doesn't work out, and if something goes wrong, he doesn't learn his lesson or whatever the case may be, another one will be put in its place and in his place. And they told me that I'm always going to feel protected by my soulmate. But if I don't feel safe, another one will come in and make me feel safe, which makes sense. I have abandonment issues, and that doesn't really shock me. I did kind of see some silhouettes of what they should kind of look like, but I couldn't really make it out. It, again, just kind of looked like a taller Butters to me. And I mean, I like tall guys, so again, it's not really much to go on. And maybe next time I get high, I'll be able to figure out more and find out more about him. I don't know, you guys. And again, it could change. Tomorrow I can make a decision that causes a butterfly effect and my soulmate is someone else. But who knows? I'm a little bit shocked, but I think the reason I was shown that there are multiple soulmates is because I have a bit of a commitment issue that I've worked on and abandonment issues that I've worked on. And I wouldn't be able to let go and actually embrace and be in a relationship if I wasn't reassured that there was and there is always someone out there for me and for you. And hopefully this helped. I guess if you guys ever want to see me actually channel in a video, let me know down below in the comments, but I'm really nervous and scared to do that. So yeah, I think I will leave you with a little bit of a snippet of some of the audio we caught.
I can feel how much love someone has for someone. I can literally feel it. And I can feel the amount of love he had for me. It's blowing my fucking mind. Like, dude, you love me so much. I did not expect that. I did not think I could. I thought it would be opposite. It'd be empty. It's overflowing.